In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I got on in my second British Tour event of the year. So on Wednesday, the day before the event, we made the drive up from London to Stirling, which Google said was 7 hours and 12 minutes and a 442-mile drive. We stopped for some food on the way, and when we got to the hotel, I was exhausted. I had a good night's sleep and I woke up at 7 AM bright and early for breakfast. For breakfast, I had a mixture of different foods. My favourite though was the fruit with yogurt, muesli and honey. That was definitely the highlight. I then finished my coffee and we got on the road for my morning practice session at the venue. This morning practice session lasted about half an hour and was just to warm up all of the strokes and make me feel like I've already played for my match coming up. So guys, it's currently around an hour and a half before my match and I decided to just eat a bar and I also have some fruit. And I'm going to have a banana when I get back in. I'm just going to relax, get in the right headspace, think about what I want to do in the match. I think a lot of you guys commented on the last video, you know, what I need to do. And the number one thing I'm going to say to myself is to have confidence, be aggressive and be positive. Those would be the key takeaways. My match warm-up consisted of skipping on my right leg, then the left leg, then forwards and backwards, then some crossover skips, and then finishing with some double skips. I then worked on some shoulder activation exercises with the band, working just to strengthen, but also to fire the muscles and make them feel ready. And I finished with an exercise to open my hips and also an exercise to just shake out the nerves and just get nice and loose for my match. So guys, I'm now done with my full physical warm-up. Let's go get the first win of the season. So I went onto court super pumped up to try and get my first win of the season, and there was one slight problem. My opponent didn't turn up. So for 15 minutes, I hit some serves, walked around for a little bit, was a little bit nervous, but I knew after the 15 minutes that I would get a walkover. However, unluckily for me, there was an on-site alternate who decided to then step in and play me instead of my opponent after the 15 minutes was up. It turns out that this player was actually a university player who didn't play a lot of tournaments in the year, so had a low UK ranking, but was actually higher rated in terms of UTR and world tennis number by quite a bit. So it turned from a match where I was the favourite to a match where I was the underdog. From the first point, I could tell it was going to be a super tough battle. My opponent obviously knew the courts as he played on these for years and was really confident on his serve and had a good rhythm. But also he was a super good, consistent player. He was fast, he was aggressive, and I knew that that was going to be a struggle. And early on, straight away, I found myself in quite a tough position on serve at 40 love down. Now, you never want to lose your first service game and go break down straight away. So I knew I had to find something special and find a way out of this situation. I managed to save the 3 break points, but it wasn't over yet. I had to close out my first service game. And so it went 1-1, but as you can see here, my opponent doing a super good job of winning his service games to love, playing super solidly, making me play loads of balls and making it super tricky for me. And that's something I struggled on my service games, is to really get a foothold and win games to love and games to 15. 30-15 up on the goes with the kick serve out wide. I was really having to be aggressive, come to the net and force his hand, which sometimes worked, but also sometimes didn't work. And again here, playing a long game, which meant obviously that's physically draining for me, but it's also giving him confidence that he can then break me eventually. My opponent actually had a higher doubles UTR than singles UTR, so points like this, where he's going, serving and volleying or coming to the net, were actually one of his strengths, which made it super difficult for me to try and get past him because he knew exactly where he was positioning the ball and what he was doing. This was the second key moment of the match. I'm 40-15 down, and this is really trouble time because he could easily find a break. I play a decent drop shot, which most players wouldn't get to, and he ends up taking the break. He's then on serve, serving at 4-2, and I know I need to try and find a way back into this one. I'm slightly stressed a little bit because I know as he's the first server, he's going to take a 5-2 lead if he can close out the service game. I was trying to be consistent, but also be aggressive and try and find a way through his unbelievable defense. And he consolidated the break in style there with a forehand drop shot, which was just too good. I'm now 5-2 down on serve. I have to find a way of sticking in this one and not giving him the break. I'm 30-15 down in this point, really trying to hustle my way through and just trying to make balls find a bit of rhythm, as I'd already missed a few balls previously. Facing a set point now on his serve, just trying to be consistent again, falling back on that shot. He's obviously going really high with spin to my backhand side and then closes it out with the forehand up the line, which was just perfect. I think that was the biggest problem. I wasn't aggressive enough with my backhand, I wasn't putting enough balls deep enough, and I wasn't doing this. I wasn't coming to the net trying to make him play and be aggressive. He somehow turned this game around and we actually went advantage up in this game. So I again faced a break point in my first service game of the set. What I'm noticing watching this back now is just how relentless he is. He's not missing any balls, he's not putting any balls short. And as you can see there, hits a forehand winner up the line, just too good. And that was really beginning to get to me. It was becoming a physical battle, which I couldn't win, and I couldn't actually hit through my opponent or find a way to win cheap points other than, you know, him missing or me, you know, playing some good serves. He ended up making a forehand error, which went long, which meant I got slightly lucky, but I was hanging in there in this set. So I just put that ball long, which was super tough, and then straight away he won the next 2 points to go 40 love up, and I make an unforced error on the forehand, and he consolidates the break at 3-1 and made that. How has he made that return? That was really high quality. I thought it was going out, and again he goes 40 love up on my service game. At this point he's really finding his rhythm, playing some really good tennis, and I'm really struggling to make balls, make it difficult and make him play. And I'm obviously slightly stressed as well, because I obviously don't want to go 0-2 for the first 2 matches of the season. After a monster rally, he ends up taking the break once again, and I go 5-1 down, 40-30 down, and this match point sums up the match. So not the result I was hoping for, but every loss makes you stronger, and I've still got 3 tournaments to try and get my first win. So we were supposed to talk about money in this episode, but we're going to do a whole dedicated video next week on all of the finances involved in my tennis journey. Thank you guys for your support over the last few weeks. It has been unbelievable how many new subscribers and how many amazing comments we have got from you guys. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and turn bell notifications on to be notified when the next video comes out, and I'll see you guys then.